Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys the pens that I am going to have currently inked for December, and I wanted to fill out my December sheet in my notebook. So this is the same notebook I use for all of the pen stuff recently. It is an A5 𝗦𝘃𝗍𝗄 notebook with the Tomoe River paper, and these are all of the pens that I have inked up for December of 2023, my last round of pens of the year, which is kind of a crazy thought, honestly. So I have 7 pens. I actually have 2 more pens, but I'm not going to include them in this just because I inked them up with some new inks that I got, but I don't know how I really feel about them and if I even want to use them all month or if I just want to clean them out. So I'm not going to be including these 2. I'm just going to stick with the 7 that I normally work with. And with that, I'm going to just zoom you guys in and tell you a little bit about each one of these pens. So the first pen I have inked up here is a TWISBI Eco, and this is in the Smoke Rose Gold colorway. And I inked this up with Ferris Press Land of Shangri-La. I should also mention that this is a Stub 1.1 nib in this TWISBI, and I have to say, of all the Stub nibs that I have tried, which hasn't been super great, I mean, I have a few pens with a Stub nib, but I really do enjoy the TWISBI Stub nib quite a bit just because I feel like it has good flow, and no matter what ink that I put in with it, it always works great. Ferris Press Land of Shangri-La is kind of a muddy black brownish color. It does have shimmer. It also has sheen. It is just all around a very fun ink. And I'll wait till the end when I normally do all of like the swatches with all of the colors to tell you kind of what my theme is for this month. But just know now, like starting out, it's not going to be a whole lot of bright colors. The next pen I have inked up here is my Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo in the Pearl White, and this has an 18 karat fine nib in it. And I just inked this with your classic black Pilot cartridge because I just wanted to have a normal black pen for this month. The Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo is smaller than the classic Pilot Vanishing Point, if you were unaware, and I feel like this pen is a really good everyday writer for me, and that's kind of why I wanted to put just a classic color in it for this month, just because I've been taking a lot more notes on various business things and everything else, and I need something that's a bit just fast, easy to use, no worry like what's going to happen with it. I've actually inked this together before, and I've enjoyed it every time. I guess I just wanted to do it again because I just needed a nice, easy writer for this month. The next pen I have inked up here is a Jinhao 82, and I believe this colorway is called Transparent White or Fluorescent White, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm so sorry. I got it off of Amazon. That's the best I can tell you. This is a very inexpensive pen, but it looks like a Sailor Pro Gear Slim that I'm obsessed with, but I don't want to spend $300 on. So this is currently inked with 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗆's Athena Gray. This Jinhao has a fine nib, and I feel like it's honestly a pretty dry fine nib. So I wanted to try it with a 𝗦𝘃 ink, which I usually have pretty normal consistency with, to see if it would still turn up a little bit dry. And so far, it's a little bit dry. Anyways, the 𝗦𝘃𝗽's Athena Gray is actually a very nice shading gray ink. It's usually really dark, and since I put it in a fine nibbed pen that's a little bit dry, it's much lighter than I anticipated it being, but I'm okay with it because it's still kind of on theme with what I'm going for this month. I will say, however, I don't know if I'm going to keep this pen inked up just because I have another gray that looks very similar to this in my lineup as well. The next pen I have inked up here is one pen that I'm iffy on this one. This is my Monteverde Trees of the World Avenue of the Baobabs with a Omniflex nib. And I inked this up with 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 Silver Gray. And that's why I was saying with the Jinhao, if these two are too similar, I'm probably only going to keep one or the other. So we'll see which one I end up keeping if they're too similar. So this pen is actually one that I have a love-hate relationship with. Sometimes it's fabulous and sometimes it's awful. So depends on the ink I've put in it that I've determined whether it's good or not. And I've had more successes with my wetter inks than my drier inks. Just putting that out there. As for the Omniflex nib, it's okay. It's not super flexy like a true flex nib would be. It's more of just like a broader medium in some places, which I'm perfectly okay with. So no complaints there. As for the 𝗬𝗏𝗏 Silver Gray, I love this gray ink. It was actually like kind of gifted to me in a way, I guess. It was part of my surprise ink sample pack from 𝗏𝗏 sometime this year. And after I swatched it and used it, I loved the shading in it and I really wanted to put it in more of a juicy pen. And I'm hoping this is going to showcase that for this ink. It's not as similar to the Le Bon Mythology Gray as I thought it was going to be, so I may end up keeping both of these pens for the full month, but again, we shall see. The next pen I have here is my Kaweco Sport in Iridescent Pearl. Such a cute little pocket pen. And I actually have this inked up with one of my new inks, courtesy of one of my pen friends, Priscilla, thank you. This has Birmingham Pen Co.'s Pennsylvania Fieldstone. Oh my gosh, try to say that 4 times fast. For this Kaweco, I went ahead and changed my nib out into a medium, which I think is now my favorite Kaweco nib size, if I'm being honest. And I wanted to make sure that I could still see the shading in this ink in a medium nibbed pen because I had only ever tried it in the dip pens since it's been sent to me. And I have to say, I love this so much. Oh my goodness. The Birmingham Pen Co., or I'm just going to call it BPC for short, Pennsylvania Fieldstone is such a cool ink. If you missed my swatch video, definitely go watch. It is so fun to watch that one, like shade down as it dries. It's amazing. But it has this gorgeous, almost like pinkish gray color to it. And I find that on the Tomoe River paper, it has almost like a blueness to it as well. I really, really love this ink. And yes, I'm super addicted to the Birmingham BPC inks now. Like, just yes. The next pen I have here is my Pilot Metropolitan in black. And this has a fine nib in it this time. And I inked this up with Sailor Manyo's Ayame. When I originally was going to ink this up, I was skeptical of putting Sailor Manyo Ayame in a fine nibbed pen, and mainly because it is super light. I personally struggle with light inks just because of my eyesight, but I feel like with Ayame, the shading saves it somehow. I will say this is still very light to me. I probably would only use this in like big journaling pages, which is kind of my intention for it anyways. But I just wanted to have a lighter gray in my color scheme for this month, and I felt like Ayame had enough shade to it that I would still be able to read it even in a fine nibbed pen. And the last pen that I have inked up is my Jinhao X159 in Ivory, and it has a medium nib, and I inked it up with Robert Oster's Heart of Gold. The Jinhao X159 has a massive nib in it and a massive feed, and I really wanted to have a good sparkly, just bright gold ink for the month of December just because it is a holiday month and there's, I don't know, gold just feels like a good color for me for this month. And since the Jinhao X159 has that massive nib and feed, it handles shimmer beautifully. And not that I've ever had a problem with Robert Oster's Heart of Gold in any pen that I've put it in. It's one of my favorite gold inks out there. I just really wanted to have a nice, bold, good writer with gold ink, and I felt like this was such a good combination. I'll see how I feel at the end of the month, but right now I love it and I'm really happy with this choice. Alright, it is at this point in the video that I kind of want to explain a little bit about my color scheme for this month of December. You're probably asking me, like, Danielle, why do you have a bunch of gray inks for December? It's Christmas in the States, it's holiday season, it's supposed to be bright and cheery and happy and all of these other kind of colors. Well, hate to break it to you, if you've missed any of my other videos, December is not a very happy month for me, and I usually don't really like the holiday season just because I've had quite a lot of loss in my life. But I did want to kind of base this month's theme off of one of my favorite Christmas movies. And while I'm not going to be excited with cheery colors and things like that, there is a movie called It's a Wonderful Life that plays every single year, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's in black and white. So in order to kind of play off that kind of movie, I decided to do a very grayscale kind of ink collection. Still with a little bit of color because I do need some color in my life. I mean, otherwise it's a little too dreary. But I definitely wanted to give a good range of kind of muted colors for this month, just to kind of play off of the muted colors in the movie. The story of that movie is absolutely beautiful and fantastic, and if you have not watched it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I will let you watch it on your own. Just know that it is black and white, and it is a very old film, and it is wonderful. It has a beautiful message. I also wanted to include The Heart of Gold by Robert Oster in this collection because I feel like with Christmas and with the holidays, we all need a little bit of a golden moment, and for me, that is creating this channel for you guys this year was such a golden moment for me, and I wanted to end this year off right with a good bright gold color that was shimmery and just awesome, because without you guys I wouldn't be inspired to create anything else for this YouTube channel. I probably would just put out random videos and see what happens, but I feel like you as my audience and those of you who watch my videos and comment and interact with me and send me messages, and I don't know, it makes it more fun and helps me to be more creative with all the things that I do for you guys. So really, this month may look a little dreary and a little grayscale, but it's in honor of you because you've made my life a wonderful life. Anyways, I'm going to stop being emotional now and sappy, and we're just going to close out this video. Alrighty, that is it for my December currently inked. Like I said, I know it's kind of a grayscale muted story, but I hope you appreciate my message behind it and what I was going for. And as always, I'd love to hear any naming suggestions you guys have. So if you were inspired to call this something else based on the colors I chose, I'd love to hear it. Just let me know. Like always, if you're interested in any of the other currently inked I've done or progress reports I've done for this year, I will have a playlist in the description, and I will also try to link it up in the cards. And if you're interested in any of the ink explorations I have been doing, I will also leave a playlist for that in the description because we're having so much fun. And purples are the last group, and I'm super excited to finish it out and then come up with something else because I can't give up fountain pen ink, if I'm being honest. But anyways, again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, for joining me here today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.